welcome to another round of the Multi-League Revved Up Truck Series here at iRacing Super Speedway. Up in the booth here is Kim Quick and Ken Huber. Ken, what do you think about tonight?
No, I'm kind of excited. This is a pretty big super speedway, 3 miles, in fact. No restrictor plates. So these guys are going to be moving around this track probably close to 235 miles an hour based on some of the speeds I was looking at. So should be pretty exciting.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's probably going to be a crash fest tonight. This is not one of my favorite racetracks, and I think iRacing kind of overstretched it on this one myself. But here we are.
We're here to have fun. I remember this back in the Papyrus days. They called it the Coca-Cola Speedway or something like that. So I know that iRacing repurposed this place. It still can be fun. You get the right group of guys. Actually, I raced here. Let's see, it was last week, I think, in the Xfinity car, and we had a couple cautions, but it wasn't a total wreck fest. So there was some good racing out there.
Yeah, well, I hope that's what we get tonight. Right now, qualifying's going on. They're going to have 5 minutes of that, and then we're going to get into the race. We're just getting things set up here, so we're ready to go for this evening. Hope everybody's going to enjoy the spectators are going to enjoy this.
Hey, wake up.
So we're still watching the trucks go around here. We don't have the video feed up yet. They're just still qualifying. Um, Currently, Jeff Gilmore's got the fastest time with 50.6, and he's currently on the pole, but we'll see if that lasts.
Oh yeah, I think it's all going to change around a little bit more. This track, you never can tell who it's going to be.
And there it is. Jeffrey Merck just took a pole with 50.5. And it's changed again with Jeff Gilmore back on top with 50.5 as well. Now Bill Weaver has captured that pole with 50.3, starting to lay down some pretty quick
User
times.
joined your channel.
Hey, joining us up in the broadcast booth, Scott Patton. Welcome, Scott.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Same old, same old. Gonna watch a race.
Looks like iRacing Super Speedway. Is that the plan?
Yep, 3 miles of insanity.
They're just qualifying now, and they should be done here in a couple minutes.
Hey, wake up.
So we got about 30 seconds before they start gridding here. And we'll get going, get the race underway. Hey, Kim, you going to put up the video here?
The video's up. I think you're on the wrong one. It's on the Multi-League TV. You're probably on Studio
You know
One.
what? I'm behind. I think I'm paused.
Hey, wake up.
So we got about 30 seconds before they start gridding here. And we'll get going, get the race underway. Hey, Kim, you going to put up the video here?
The video's up. I think you're on the wrong one. It's on the Multi-League TV. You're probably on Studio
You know
One.
what? I'm behind. I think I'm paused.
Hey, wake up.
So We got about 30 seconds before hey, Kim, we don't have the video up. I'm just seeing. There we go. Now I see it. We'll get going, get the race underway. All right, everybody, welcome to iRacing Speedway. 3 miles of goodness, as Kim mentioned earlier. Kim Quick is in the booth with myself, Kenneth Huber, and we also got Scott Patton joining us. So we're ready to take on 3 miles of non-restrictor plate racing, where guys will be reaching 235 to 240 miles an hour. So starting off our grid tonight is Greg Welland, who captured the pole with the 50.3. There we go. Second place, Bill Weaver. Third place, Jeff Gilmore. All right, everybody. Fourth place, Jeffrey Merck. Fifth place, 3 miles of sixth place is Mike Erner. Kim Quick is seventh place, James Krause. And we also got Scott Patton joining JJ Garrett. So, ninth place, we're ready to take on 3 miles of 10th place, non-restrictor plate racing, where guys will be 11th place, 235 to 240 miles an hour. Ted Quinsell. Starting off our or 13th place, Joe Martin captured the pole with and our final qualifier was David Fish. Third place, and 15th. All right, 20. So what do you think about this, guys?
I'm excited about this one. 60 laps this lap. A lot of draft racing, a lot of pack racing, team racing, a lot of strategy. Hopefully get some long green flag runs through the 60-lap run without too many, hopefully avoiding the big one is the plan, I think. Hopefully it's a nice wide track from what I remember. This ones are really, really wide, probably the widest of any track out there. So plenty of room to get 3, even 4. I've seen 5 out there, 5 wide. Should be an exciting action-packed race.
Yeah, I agree. And some of these guys are pretty quick. I'm just looking through the field.
A lot of draft racing.
I see Fish's name back there. He's always one of those guys. And Andrew Schultz is in the field. And they're starting towards the back. We got Vernon Margheim in the back.
Without too many.
So those guys probably be trying to work their way to the front.
It's a nice wide track. There's a track that is kind of like a little really wide. Super speedways where track out there, the qualifying doesn't matter as much. I would say it's this one. I'm looking at the field of 24 cars and only 13 or 14 or 15 qualified. So those back guys, there's a lot of fast trucks back there that I wouldn't count out at all. I think they're going to make it really fun with some teammates. And hopefully there's ones like the guys from pretty much anybody out there.
I agree. I think this might have been by design to start back there too. Try to avoid any early incidents during the race.
You guys have press to talk, Mike.
Track out there, the qualifying doesn't matter as much. Yes. I'm looking at the field of 24 cars.
Because we're picking up the race off of you guys' microphones, so it's double sound.
There's a lot of fast trucks back there that I wouldn't count out at all. I think they're going to make it really fun with some teammates. And hopefully there's ones like the guys from pretty much anybody out there. It's not mine.
I agree. I think this might have been by design to start back there too. Try to avoid any early incidents during the race.
You guys have press to talk, Mike.
Ready to go green here?
Yes.
Like I said, there's no restrictor plates here, so
Because we're picking up the race off of you guys' microphones.
You know,
the
corner entry of this track is kind of sketchy because it's kind of drop into a hole there. It's almost like a roller coaster. So you've got to time it right and get that truck pointed in the right direction when you get in that hole, get that truck to bite.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be talking about that a lot tonight. That's one of those technique things. It's really hard to see the corner entry when you're behind a truck. But here we go.
We're at the end of 71.
All right, the pace car's in, and green flag is out, it looks like. Greg Welland's leading up to the stripe right now, and we got wow, I'm losing my place. We got William Weaver out there on the outside, who just had looks like he's having a little bit of connection issue right now, pulling out of the lane. And so they're being really patient right now here on the start. I don't see any bump drafting or anything like that. Although we're going 3 wide, it looks like we got JJ Garrett taking it 3 wide on the outside with Charlie Widner on the outside with them. And those 2 guys are teammates, so they're trying to run to the front here.
Yeah, if there's one driver out there that I know is not too afraid to make exciting moves early on, it's certainly JJ. So there he goes on the high side, making it work. Stick up there with Charlie Widner.
Yeah, I raced him with him the other night in the Xfinity race, and that second groove to me was a faster line than, say, the bottom groove. If you had the right kind of guys that could hook up with you, it seems like that lane 2 is the best place to be. Although they're in lane 3 right now, so see if they can make it work.
great show up there on the third line. JJ, Charlie, looking at Andrew Schulte joining the party up there. I think he knows the aggressiveness of JJ. He knows he's looking for that lead. Andrew Schulte's going to fall in line and drive that high line and try to run to the lead with him.
Yeah, and if you remember, Andrew Schulte, I believe, was one of those drivers that didn't qualify. I think he started by 17th, and he's all the way up to the front pack.
Wow.
So looking back in the pack here, I'm looking at Kent Conley right now. He's running single file right now, right behind Joe Marks. Still, everybody's kind of, even though they're 3 wide, I don't see a lot of dancing. Everybody's nice and smooth right now. Oh, we're almost 4 wide there. They get it sorted. JJ tried to make that. JJ Garrett tried to make that high line work, but I think he's going to need to get down a lane to get a pass completed up there.
Excellent job by these guys on the bottom. I think you can see on the video how aggressive and how quick that turn comes up on the bottom lane. It kind of falls in the hole, like you said. So these guys, the first top 5, they're single file, doing a great job and holding their line on the bottom and making that corner entry the best they can.
Yeah, hey, let's take a look at Jeffrey Merck and the cockpit view of Jeffrey Merck here and see how he's getting in that corner. He's the leader of our race currently. Let's see how he's able to get into those corners full throttle. Again, Jeffrey Merck's being pushed by Greg Welling here. They are pushing hard now at this point. Still with us there, Kim?
Oh yeah, took a little bit. We had some technical difficulties there. Seems like we're still on that learning curve.
I'll tell you what, in the video, do we have the ability to go back up position to like Greg inside cockpit? I think that's the view we got to see here. I'm looking at that one, and that will give you a real quick idea of how quick these corners start here and how you really can't see much when you're right on the bumper of that person. In this case, Jeffrey Merkin, P1 up there.
We're riding in the cockpit now, Greg Welling.
There you go. See him right down the straightaway, takes the whole windscreen. Nice shot with the bump draft. Might see him back off a little bit on the corner entry to make sure he doesn't make contact. There he is, backs off a little bit. Off the gas and right back on it.
Yeah, he's doing some fine driving there. That's kind of what you need to do here to get, like I said, to get that truck set in that corner without losing time. And it's very easy, like Scott was saying, when you're following that truck in front of you, you can't see your corner entry. It's very easy to hit that apron or something like that if you don't time it right, and end up, if there's cars on the outside, end up in one of those.
Yeah, with the size of those rear spoilers on the trucks, once you get sucked up, you really can't see anything in front of you going into the corner. You've almost got to back off a little bit so you can get a view of it.
So I'm looking at the 79 truck of JJ Garrett again. He has found that second line now, and his trucks are starting to follow in behind him. I think he's going to make a move to the front here.
That's exactly what I was looking at, Ken. JJ is making a move. I think he got shuffled back, him and Andrew together. I think they're going to be working quite a bit throughout the entire race, I suspect. Andrew came right to his bumper, gave him a push. Again, he knows he's the aggressive one. I think they can make that second line work now that they're not fighting that third lane. I expect him to continue to move and hopefully give Mark a charge for the lead here.
Yeah, and I see Daniel Ferguson. There's Charles Widener out there in the 95 truck. He is going to make that a 3-car draft up there, and I do believe that these guys will be able to work by the leaders.
Yeah, usually Charlie Widener in the 95 and JJ Garrett the 79. They're a team. They usually try to get these long speedway races run together anyway.
There it is at the stripe. Give it to JJ.
Now let's see if JJ will stay in that second groove and help the guys that have been helping him, or will he move
to the
down?
bottom?
There's your answer.
Well, he moved back up, and he basically allowed Andrew to get down on the bottom, and then that allows his teammate to get up on his back bumper now. That might have been a planned move there.
Yeah, I think it was.
And they got James 000 Brown in that same group, and they got a couple other guys coming up, James Hearns and Looks like, what is that, Greg Welling. So the field got a little separated. There was an incident towards the back of the field earlier, and the field got a little strung out there for a while, but everybody's ganging back up now. And we've just about got 10 laps completed in this thing, and it's been clean so far.
Yeah, real nice job by these guys.
So I'm looking back here at the 117 of Mike Erder. Mike Erder and the 077 of Jack Watts. They're trying to hook up with this outside line. If they get hooked up, that's going to be about 7 or 8 cars each line now. Right now, that second line up with Andrew Schulte on the low line, JJ Garrett hasn't been able to make that upper line work this time. And I think you know, Scott, Andrew's a pretty fast driver himself.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the other thing that JJ's got working for him is normally tire wear becomes an issue, but I don't suspect that it will really be on this track. So his aggressiveness is really going to pay off. And that the tire wear I don't think is going to have much of effect as it would on other tracks that we go to on a normal basis. Normally when I'm racing with JJ, I can let him go, knowing that the tire wear may end up kicking him back, taking full effect later in the run. But here at iRacing Super Speedway, I suspect that being aggressive and staying in the front, not worrying about the tires, is the way that I'd be racing if I was down there.
Yeah, we just watched all our leaders go around one of the lap cars there, and lots of room here. They were able to get around them without too much difficulty. And that's the thing here too, Scott. But they're going so fast, and these trucks are like bricks going through the air. And if you lose draft here, you're going to go down a lap really quick.
Yeah, certainly. Just like Talladega, Daytona, the other 2.5, 2.6 mile tracks we go to.
So right now I'm looking back at the 36 truck of Sean Turner. Sean Turner now is on the back bumper of the 077, or was, of Jack Watts. Jack decided he wanted the low line there.
I think Sean Turner, with that paint job, his plan is to blind people as that truck flies by. And what do you think?
We were talking about that paint job earlier. That's just, I got any other way to say it, but it's butt ugly.
Yeah,
I'm going to call that the Sean Fishing Lure Turner pickup truck.
Yeah, it's like a big fishing lure. I like that. But don't cut him out yet. I mean, he's still hooked onto that front draft. Patience is paying off here. Everyone's doing a really nice job.
The real question is does he have to put sunglasses on to get in the truck?
Right? I wonder if he has one of those suits and helmets like Darrell Waltrip. Remember the Darrell Waltrip chrome cars in the day? I wonder if he has a driver suit that's chrome too.
There you go.
Some moon lander. Somehow I just moved back up to the front of the field, and JJ Garrett is now assumed the lead. He got around Andrew Schulte. Both Charles Widener and JJ Garrett have gotten around Andrew. But that outside lane is coming. James A.O.O. Brown is on the outside now, looking to take that lead away from JJ Garrett.
That is, and on that outside comes Mike Erda, like you said earlier, in that 117 truck. Just riding patient, smart. There's one guy that makes really smart, calculated decisions out there. It's Mike Erda. He knows the distance of the race. He knows he doesn't have to be super aggressive really early, but his patience is paying off so far in that lead draft and coming up on the top 5 here with those guys. Really nice run by Mike Erda.
Yeah, we've renamed Mike. We call him the Dart now. I don't know if anybody knows it, but he flies RC planes, and he had this one this week, and he flew right straight into a pole like a dart. So we're going to start calling him the Dart.
On the outside of Erda goes the 111 there of John Henderson. They get 3 wide back here. It's going to leave that middle lane with just 2 cars. Just Erda and Hearns, looks like.
You know, speaking of patient drivers, I'm looking back here at Daniel Ferguson in the 11th spot in the 25 truck. That's another really patient driver like Mike Erder. He's got low incident counts in iRacing, super clean driver, super patient. He might be one to watch towards the end of this thing too.
Yep, definitely. You know who else is creeping in the picture here in the lead draft right behind Fergie is good old Kent Conley. Monday night, he got holding tough there in the Roll Tide truck. many drafts, patience paying off.
Yeah, and Kent, like you said, Kent runs this there. He's done it for years. He's an awesome admin. He was the owner of Revved Up, which now is all combined with Multi-League. Yeah, Kent's a great admin, great guy. We're all wishing him the best as well.
Yeah, he's been going through some treatments from what I understand at the hospital and whatnot. Been out of town for a couple weeks, so anytime we can get him, it's always a pleasure to have him on the track there, holding steady there in the top 15. Good job, Ken.
Yeah, I wouldn't count that old dog out. He still knows how to hunt.
Oh, yeah. Do you guys have any idea on the fuel mileage on this race? We're coming up on looks like 16 laps down here. Do you know if we can make it to halfway or what the fuel strategy might be looking forward?
I think this is going to be about a 2-stop race. If I remember right, it should be about 22 to 25 laps per stop. I'm just basing that on memory. I'm not 100%, but I think that's where their fuel window is going to be.
Okay. If that's the case, maybe approaching that quickly. And I don't know how many of these guys practice green flag stops on this track. I try to do it whenever I can during practice, but this could certainly be a very tricky track to get off of turn 4, slowed down to, I'm guessing, about 55 miles an hour for pit road. So that should be really interesting here. Another 5 or 6 laps if that if we keep this green.
Yeah, and that transition to pit road is something else too. There's I don't know, you go from what, 25 degrees of banking to like none, and that's a
Exactly.
sharp.
Back to the front here. We're going to say put the cameras on the front row here. And looks like 3 by 3 by 3. I think the aggressiveness is picking up here.
Yeah, and these guys that have been leading the race too, that's also going to impact their fuel mileage as well. So these leaders, people like JJ Garrett and James O. Brown are probably lower on fuel than the other guys too. I just watched Sharon Turner almost get into, I believe it was Jack White's.
23 of William Weaver, I think, was on the outside. Things settled down here a little bit. Back to 2 by 2. Spread out. I heard Joe Marks on the radio said that he's making a pit stop here shortly, so I don't know if that's an indication that, like you mentioned, Ken, that maybe, I think Joe was a little bit off the pace in terms of the draft, so he may be using more fuel. But even so, that being the case, these guys that are in the draft, I would suspect that they may have to come in here shortly as well.
Yeah, well, they're going to need, with the 60-lap race, they're going to need to hopefully be able to go another couple laps.
We got the main pack closing in on a bunch of slower lap traffic too. Let's see how they're going to handle that.
It's looking like we have still 19 cars or 18 cars in that lead pack. Everybody else has either lost the draft or is a lap down. I've moved back up to the leader of JJ Garrett here. Well, he led the last lap anyway. He's on the outside right now. The low line has passed him.
They're coming up
on Joe Marks in the Ford truck.
I heard James O. Brown pitting. A bunch of guys are pitting this lap. Watch them off down the backstretch here off of turn 4. Make some aggressive moves to pit road. Hopefully keep it all tires going in the same direction. And
I just seen David Fisher. The front of the truck was pretty tore up. He must have had a problem right at the beginning of the race.
Yeah. Here we go. Heading to pit road. There's James Hearns, James Brown.
That was a really aggressive pit entry for James Hearns. Hopefully he didn't get a speeding ticket for that.
On the 8 truck, just spun it on pit lane. He's on the wall back there.
It's down in pit lane off the race surface. I don't think it should be a big issue. Still staying green. I hear Jeff Merck calling out that he's going to be pitting this time. Greg in the second spot. Greg Wellen pitting this time. Corey's coming in, the leader.
David Schreck was already in the pits when they came in. He's on his way out now. James Hearns on his way out. James Brown's on his way out. JJ, Mike Erder, David Schreck, and I believe Charlie Widner.
So I just watched Greg Wellen lead the second pack of cars in the pit lane. Came in with about 7 or 8 cars. These guys are able to pit on lap 21, so if they can continue to do this, they should be almost safe for a green-white checker should one choose to happen.
Exactly, but I think those guys like Joe Marks, maybe Dave Fish, the ones that were off the pace, lost the draft early in the race and had to pit, I think, around lap 17, 18. Unfortunately, I think they're going to be one pit stop short here for the end of the race if it does stay green.
Yeah, so we're watching all these guys get service on their trucks and get back out there. You mentioned pit lane, getting on pit lane was kind of dicey. Getting back off pit lane and getting on that backstretch is kind of dicey here too. There isn't a lot of banking here, and sometimes these cars are pretty loose.
Yeah, what do you say? Do we have the option to go in car with Corey Blevins?
Yep, give me 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah, we got him coming down pit road right now.
All right, 45 miles an hour coming down to his pit stop. We'll see just what it's like to come off, complete the pit stop, and then come back onto the speedway. And then knowing that he was one of the leaders early, it'll also be interesting to find out where he can fall in line in terms of the draft. If he loses a lot of time because he stayed out longer, or whether he can jump in with the draft with those leaders.
You got to wonder if Jeff Gilmore just got a black or is going to catch a penalty on that, because he passed him on pit lane, and I mean by a lot. So one of them was going really slow, the other one was going really fast.
Here we go, off pit road, through the gears.
And
Yeah,
right there coming out of the pits, it gets really slick right there, and it can bite you without you, if you're not paying a lot of attention.
The leaders, right? He was one of the leaders in the top 3 or 4 cars, and now those leaders are 4 or 5 seconds in front of him now. See if he can get some friends back here and get back in the draft and gather it back up.
Yeah, and I watched his pit stop too, Scott, and he took no tires during that stop, so he only took fuel only. So
wow. So I suspect that those leaders did the same as well if they're that far ahead. I suspect to go through, leaders up front, Greg Wellen, JJ Garrett, Charlie Widner, probably no tires as well.
now Hearns was the one guy that I mentioned that was really aggressive on his pit stop, and looks like he avoided that black flag, and he's running up front here. He's currently in the 5th spot, and these guys are now side by side, the top 6 or 7 cars from 3rd on back or so, as they attempt to regroup from the last set of pit stops.
Yeah, fantastic job by these guys. Full, 23 laps, green flag, hardly no incidents. Green flag pit stops, and come back out in a draft like this. Makes me wish I was out there with these guys. So off the pace there is David Schreck just bounced off the wall and turned forward. Did a nice job gathering it up and staying out of leader's way.
Yeah, he almost got the back.
Now let's go to David Schreck's car for a minute there, Kim. So David Schreck had eye surgery here last week. He's starting to get vision back in one eye, but he's driving around this track with one eye. So he's struggling a little bit tonight, but he hails from somewhere in the world. I want to
Clearwater, Florida, I believe.
It says his hometown is Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So anyway, just give a shout out to Mr. Schreck and wish him all the best, and hopefully that eyesight returns and he's back out here being competitive again.
Yeah, great job, David. Even though with the eye surgery and whatnot, it's always great to see you out there. Down off the banking onto pit road he comes.
Yeah, it's probably because of the damage you catch in the wall. We're going to go back up to the leaders, guys, and see what they got going on.
Yeah, James Hearns has just made a pass for the lead. He's got JJ Garrett right behind him, it looks like. And then Charles Widener, of course, JJ Garrett's teammate. I keep mentioning it, but those two guys always are around each other during plate racing or any type of draft type racing. You got James O.O. Brown on the outside with Mike Erder. These guys are going to look to try to make that outside lane work again.
Yeah, you can see that outside lane stack up just a bit. I think those gaps are going to start to close as they close in on James. And as that starts to close, I think you're going to see that momentum build on the top side. And that top side's going to go and bring James right to the front.
And then I'm looking at the 81 truck of Andrew Schulte. He's obviously back, keeping his cool. And then I'm looking up a little bit higher up in the running order there. I see... oh, heck, I'm losing my mind. I guess I haven't had enough to drink yet tonight. I see Sean Turner up there. who's actually having a good run tonight. So he's done a good job keeping the truck clean. We talked about him earlier being in that fishing lure truck. He's actually almost up to the front now.
Yeah, it looks like a little scrape on the right side. Not sure where he caught the wall at some point, but a little damage on the right side, but does not seem to be affecting the draft at all. Nice job.
Yeah, Sean usually does pretty good on the plate tracks.
I know he's an aggressive driver, a lot like JJ Garrett in a way. You know if he's around you, that you better be prepared to race hard.
There we go. Sean turned to the outside, looking 3 wide, but doesn't have anybody to go with him. Wisely, I think, backs right into line.
Yeah, so the top 6 or so trucks, top 8 trucks are now double wide there.
Yeah, up front, James. Here comes Erda with the bump to him on the back stretch. Is that the front? I think it's the front stretch, right?
Yeah, it's
hard to
this
tell
track
here.
is so big, it's hard to tell. I think we're on the back stretch.
Oh, and Erda gets into James. James
Oh,
goes around in turn 2.
And the caution is out. Caution's out.
Caution's out. Everybody backs off.
Yeah, the 00 truck's still spinning around there. Let's see if we can go back and get a look at that.
Yeah, we're bringing up the replay right now. Let these guys come around in the caution flag. We might talk to one of our drivers.
Let's maybe figure out if they're going to pit or not, let them do the pit stops. And what do you say we talk to Erder, maybe, who's all right in second place there behind James?
Yeah, let's talk to Erder. And we might want to wait for them to do their pit stop.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do we have fast repairs here on Monday night?
Guys, we're back.
You
We're
got the
back
replay?
live.
Okay, we're back live.
Do these guys have? I think they have one fast repair, right? On Monday
One
nights?
fast repair and 2 sets of tires. They start the race on 1 set of tires, and then they got 2 more sets.
Yeah, I'm looking at JJ Garrett's car, doing a close-up shot of that, and I think he's got some damage. I'll be surprised if I assume he's going to be using his fast repair here. Off turn 4, leaders looking. Looks like James Hearns is coming and JJ is coming.
All right, while they're hitting pit road, let's see if I can get that replay back.
And maybe when this is done, Scott, I'm having trouble reaching Mike Erder on the radio. Maybe we should let's talk to James Brown and talk to him about this incident.
Okay, sounds good.
So Kim Quick is still trying to drag up the replay here of what exactly happened. Everybody's on pit lane getting full service on their trucks while we're awaiting waiting the replay here.
I'll tell you what, I'm watching JJ Garrett on pit road while Kim cues that up, and I'm noticing that I don't think he has a fast repair. Either that or he chose not to use it for some reason, but his
All right, guys,
pit
I
crew
got
is
the
not fixing
replay.
it.
All right, bring us up to speed. What happened there, Kim?
Man, it looks like Sean clipped the 00 in the left rear when they were going into the corner, and it just sent him into a spin up into the wall. I think he was bump drafting a little too hard there, and he didn't catch him center. He cost him off to the left or the right there.
So he got taken out by a fishing lure.
Bingo.
Well, let's bring James up to the booth here and see if we can reach him on the radio here.
User was moved to your channel.
Hey, Mr. Brown. Yeah, this is you got Scott, Kim, and Ken in the booth here. How's it going?
Hey guys, well, it was going really good for a while.
Are you out, or are you getting the truck trying to get the guys beating on it and fixing the thing?
Yeah, they're trying to fix it now as we speak. They used a quick fix, and on the first pit stop I didn't realize I had it on.
So from your perspective, what happened out there?
I looked in the mirror. I wanted to see if Mike was clear. I was going to take him down the bottom with me, and when I looked up, and I don't know if I got hooked or what. But, next thing you know, I was going the wrong direction.
Yeah, it looks like from the replay, Kim was saying that Sean Turner might have hooked you there a little bit and put you in the wall there. So tough luck. Hopefully you can get back out there and get back up front. It looks like you're having an awesome race tonight.
Oh, I was having a great time. This is a lot of fun, and thank you guys for putting this on for us. Appreciate it.
All right, we're going to send you back to your team. Thanks for talking to us.
Yep, you're welcome. Thanks again, guys.
User was moved out of your channel.
Looks like the field is doubled up. Are we at 1 to go? Can see the
Yeah, it looks
base
like the
lights.
lights are out on the base
Lights are
car,
out.
and we're on the backstretch here.
All right, guys, we're in car with James Hearns right now, so we can watch us start from there.
All right, looks like we're outside. What, second row on the outside with James Hearn?
Yeah, he's just behind Charles Widener.
What's interesting to me, we're halfway right now, right? 30 down of 60. It's going to be really interesting to me to see what people do with this fuel run, right? We know that we definitely can't make it on 30 laps. But if these guys are interested at all in taking tires, you might see some maybe split the run in half, which means coming around lap 45, if you have some teammates to do that with, or do they go to the end and run out of fuel around lap 50 and then pit there? So you might see some split strategies. Should get interesting here.
Yeah, and we're going to have a few less trucks, so it could be cleaner. So these guys are going to have to stay in this group too. Although anything can happen here. Anyway, the pace car is leading them. The pace car ducks off into pit lane. We're getting ready to go green. Mike Erder is going to lead him to the green flag.
I'm showing the caution is back out. Caution's back out.
And we are green. You're green.
No,
flag.
green. There we go.
Green. Mike Erder is on the inside. He's got Charles Widener on the outside. Charles tried to make a run on him, but didn't have Mr. Hearns behind him close enough to keep that draft going. So that second lane is stalled a little bit.
I'll tell you another pair that I think are going to stick together quite a bit is Andrew Schulte down there on the bottom in 81, followed by Jeffrey Mark in the 60. I see them down in the team speak. They're in the same room together. I think they're going to strategize. It's a really good pair. They've been doing a lot of great work in recent races, racing up front.
Watch the wheel here on James Hearns. You can see how much you got to fight these corners here at iRacing Super Speedway when you go in. You really got to turn it.
Yeah, and it's a happy dance. I mean, you're looking at out both sides of the car, and when you're in the corner, the car is wiggling around, and you're trying not to hit anybody on the inside or the outside.
Yeah, watch it go down the front stretch here. You get the whole windshield of Charlie Widener. See going down in the corner. See how quick that corner comes. Nice job there, pulling it to the bottom. Looks like they got a solid lead. Man, the draft plays such a role here. You draft up to that car, that truck in front of you, and sometimes it's a toss-up of you don't want to always back off too much because you got the whole pack coming behind you. Sometimes that third, fourth, fifth place truck doesn't see that the draft takes such a huge effect, and you end up with kind of an accordion, and then we end up with incidents. But great job by these guys so far.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the 99 truck, Corey Blevins right now. He's on the outside there. Basically the first truck on the outside, trying to make an outside lane work here. Everybody's pretty much single file right now, except for a couple trucks on the outside. JJ Garrett, he's back behind Sean Turner right now. They're all on the inside. It looks like they want to make this to the next pit stop before they really do any hard racing. It's kind of what it's starting to look like to me. As I say that, JJ Garrett clips the apron, and he lost a ton of time. I don't think he's going to lose the draft here, but he touched that apron. He didn't time his corner right, and that shot him up the hill, and he had to find another place to run. He lost probably 5 positions when he hit the apron there. Now he's dropped back to 14. So we got a run on the outside currently. Trying to see which truck that is, but I'm going to guess it's Greg Welland.
It's Greg Welland on the outside in the 94. Yep. Followed by
the dark Mike Erder.
Team Krankenstein. Unfortunately, Mike's lost some of his teammates early on in the race. Dave Fish, Joe Marks, I think had some incidents early. They're a couple laps down, so Mike's kind of fighting up there by himself on behalf of Team Krankenstein.
Yeah, well, the fishing lure is actually caught Mike Erder now. So they might be able to get something moving on that outside line. I know Greg Welling in the 94 truck. He's a pretty fast driver too. Usually pretty patient. Finds his way to the front in a lot of races I've been in with him.
Kent Conley, the 88, he just keeps under the radar and keeps sneaking towards the front.
And he does. The other thing that I like about Ken Conley is, if you notice on the straightaways, he just leaves that gap, one truck, 2 truck lengths, enough to where he can see what's going on, get a really good entry into the corner without being right up on that truck in front and have that accordion effect. So really nice patience to see him there on the front stretch, backing off just enough to hold his position, but be able to see everything that's going on. Really nice job, and I think he's going to be in the hunt here as the laps wind down.
I just noticed there's a bunch of damage on the front end of the 79 truck of J.J. Garrett, so that's probably hindering him a bunch.
Yeah, well, you're queuing up the replay, Kim, at the last caution. I was watching JJ in the pits, and he definitely did not get a fast repair, so I think he fixed as much as he could, bandaged it up as much as he could, and he's back out there, still fighting on lead lap.
So while we were talking there, Greg Lund just captured the lead. Him and about 2 other cars were able to use that outside lane and get behind the leaders, or get ahead of the leaders that were using that low lane. So that higher line tends to be pretty fast when you can get the right guys hooked up with you.
Exactly. But as we say that, just a lap or a corner ago, Corey Clemens got shuffled to the outside and then found a gap. Here we see Charlie Winder on the outside, slowing up, getting a nice push by David Fish, who's a couple laps down, I think, on the outside. See if they can't get into a spot. See if Charlie looks. No. Andrew Schultz is there on the bottom. Gotta wait for another corner here.
What I see here is David Fish got his truck fixed. He must use the fast repair. I'll bet he's trying to get to the 117 of Mike Herter to help him if he can.
Yeah, either that or he's trying to just get some of his laps back the old school way, around the leader. Oh, there he goes. Almost gets turned.
Wow, great save. Everybody came out of that all right, and the 43 truck was completely sideways.
Yeah, Fish is 2 laps down right now, so he's got his work cut out for him too. He's gonna need to get ahead of these guys, and then hope for a caution. That'll be able to get 1 lap back, and then hopefully catch a lucky dog the next time.
Yeah, I'm looking at Fish's truck now, if we can get a camera on that, but his left front, just a little bit of damage on the left front there, so he'll probably continue to fall back out of the draft here. And he's pulling to pit road. I think he's pulling off pit road, maybe.
And I don't think he'll be eligible for the lucky dog because there's a couple guys in front of him. I think they're only a lap down.
Yeah.
These guys have kind of sorted themselves out, spread out a little bit. I think they'll obviously move back together again here. I think that incident kind of spooked everybody, and everybody kind of backed out of it.
Yeah, sometimes on these big tracks, you just need a little reminder like that, right? Like I said, kind of spook people. You see somebody get sideways, and you're like, oh yeah, that is a reminder that we're still right on the edge of the big one happening. So
this is iRacing Super Speedway.
Right? Everybody single file back in the front here.
This track is extremely smooth too, because it's a fantasy track. There isn't potholes and expansion joints and all kinds of things in the raceway. It's super smooth, so these guys can really just focus on driving only. They're not taking a beating inside those trucks. It's all about speed.
Yeah, iRacing does a fantastic job visiting the actual racetracks that are on the circuit, and they scan them, make digital scans of the surfaces, which include the cracks, crevices, potholes, you name it, changes in pavement or surface, and sometimes they do too good of a job replicating the surface, and it's quite bumpy out there. But this track, like I said, is one that I think it came from the early NASCAR racing games from the 90s and early 2000s, and they just kind of added it to iRacing fairly recently, but did a nice job. Like you said, super smooth surface, a lot of grip, big pack racing.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun for these guys that don't normally run up front. These type of tracks allow everybody to get up front and have a challenge at it. So it's a lot of fun. Like James O'Brien, we brought him in for the interview. He'd actually got spun early in the race, and he was still happy to be out there. He was having a good time.
Exactly. It goes Erder, get a little sideways off the corner, just to the back. Nice save by Mike Green.
I just watched somebody hit pit lane.
That was
Is that Erder?
Erder, yeah. So this is kind of an interesting pit stop, right? We pitted under lap 30 at the halfway point, Erder's in now at lap 40, which means he can make it all the way to the end. What I'm not a fan of this pit stop is that when he comes back out, I don't know that he's going to have anybody to draft with.
Yeah, that's going to hurt him bad.
Unless there was a miscommunication of some sort, if he was supposed to come down with somebody and they didn't, or maybe he sees something that we don't.
And I'm also wondering if Mike Erder didn't have a choice on that pit stop, because I'm not sure that he pitted on the last caution, so he might have stayed out, and
oh, true,
and that's
very
what
good
caused
point.
that.
Yeah, very good point. You might have been limited on gas. Yep.
So right now I'm on the 94 truck very well. Single file, all these guys got Sean Turner behind them. Andrew Schulte back there in 6. These guys are all running single file right now. I think they're thinking about their pit stop strategy right now, and kind of looking at that entrance to pit lane and trying to plan it out. How do I want to go in? Do I want to hit the brakes hard? Is the guy behind me going to slam into me when I go to pit road? How hard am I going to have to hit pit lane?
Yeah, I tend to, as I'm approaching the pit stop 2 or 3 or 4 laps ahead of time, I start to eyeball pit road off of turn 4 and kind of get my visual cues set, figure out where I want my braking point so I know what it's going to look like when I hit that apron, because you only get one shot at it, and the speeding police are out there every lap.
Yeah, when you're going at 230 miles an hour plus, that pit run is really intimidating here.
We saw Mike Erder, unfortunately, the leaders drifted right by him, so he's going to be lapped down. I think he's the first one to lap down, so if we were to get a caution here, he'd be the lucky dog. But coming up from 43, so like I said, if these guys choose to split the stint in half, that'd be lap 45. So
we're in the cockpit of Kent Conley right now, see what it looks like up through the pack.
So Kent Conley is currently running in 8th position, just minding his P's and Q's back there behind Jeffrey Merck and Andrew Schulte. Keep it nice and single file and watching him work his truck. Again, I think these guys are being really patient. That's why we're single file right now, because everybody knows pit stops are coming, and it isn't going to matter until after this pit stop. So.
Exactly. See down in the middle of the straightaway there by the start-finish line, he backed off the gas again on the corner entry. Did a really nice job keeping that nice safe gap between him and Mark up there. Keeping his eyes peeled. I don't hear any chatter on the radio yet about pit stops, but I think they all know that it's coming. Just feathering the gas. Here's a question for you, Ken. When do you think the aggressiveness picks up? Do you think, on one hand, right, these guys that are in 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, do they be more aggressive to try to get to the front sooner so they avoid the big one if it does happen? Or do you more kind of sit back, kind of like we see Kenton doing, wait for the big one and hope you can make it through? What do you think the balance is of deciding what the strategy is? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. This track is kind of funny because you can hang in the back and then all of a sudden the incident finds you, or you can run up front and then of course the incident finds you. I haven't really found a good place to run. My strategy would be probably to try to run and keep it smooth, and just try to position myself in the last 2 laps to be on that outside lane somewhere where I can make my way to that outside lane and not be in first place at the time, and hopefully somebody pushes me to the win, because that's really what it's going to take. You're going to need help out there.
Yeah, I like to try to build those relationships during the race too. Build that trust in other drivers, work with them smartly, like we see Kenton doing. Push when you got to push, but leaving the gap and not getting the guy sideways in the corner entry. Stuff like that builds the trust so that at the end of the race, when you got to make that move, hopefully you're in front of that person and they repay that favor on the last lap and it pushes you to the win. But I think building those relationships during the race, throughout the entire race, is key to your success at the end.
So one of the strategies I'm watching JJ Garrett right now. He's currently on the outside lane with that damaged truck. He's actually making that outside lane work with. I don't even know who's behind him right now at the moment.
That's Erder.
It's Mike Erder.
Yeah, so him and Erder are making that outside lane work. We're in the pit stop window. There we go. We see somebody diving off into pit
That's Corey
lane.
Blevins off pit road.
Yeah, he had 4 or 5 of them peel off.
I was just going to say, I was thinking that drivers might stay out a little bit longer because I don't think it really matters as long as you don't lose a draft when you go into pit lane. You can go all the way to your fuel stint and just come in, or you can come in at the halfway point. Not needing tires here, I believe. Kind of rule, you're not worried about the tire situation.
Yeah, I hear a little bit more chatter on the radio. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple more duck to pit road. But if I was Mike Herter, a lap down here, if there's one truck to hang on the bumper of to try to get to the front to get the lap back, it's JJ with that damaged truck. We see him charging right to the front. Here, 94. I think that's Greg Wellen pit this time. Watch that inside lane. See if here they come. James Hearn, Charlie Widner, JJ, Sean Turner. Nice job checking up here. Oh, JJ goes first.
Yep, I seen JJ wreck and Sean.
Sean Turner slapped that inside wall really hard. Hope he's got a quick repair left.
Ooh. Now here's the thing. Mike stayed out. Let's go to that truck and see if he's got anybody to draft with.
I'll tell you what, my concern is with JJ if he's all right there. Do we have a medevac helicopter here on the track?
Oh, did he dump it there? I didn't see it.
Oh, yeah.
I did see it. Oh, that truck is done. Oh, my goodness. I just caught the YouTube feed and seen that truck hit that inside wall. That was terrible.
Yeah, Mike's back on the lead lap now.
He is. I think tail end lead laps. We see Andrew Schulter in the 81 right behind him, who is the leader. I think that's really smart by Andrew. Like you were saying, Ken, it doesn't do a whole lot of good, I don't think, to pit because tires don't really mean much here. You might as well go to the end of your pit window so you don't risk a yellow coming out and being trapped a lap down. But nice job by Mike to race up to the lead lap and get around those leaders.
Yeah, I think JJ bought the farm on that one. I think he's off the server now.
Yeah, I heard Jeff Merck this time calling. He's coming to pit road as well as Andrew Schulte there, P1 and P2 this time.
Yeah, we'll hold a memorial for JJ after the race here.
It's good while it lasted, JJ.
All right, here we go. Andrew Schulte diving on pit lane here.
Merck right behind him.
Merck's got some right side damage I see there too, and the 23's in the wall. They're really having a hard. That's really high speed when you come off that bank, and it kind of throws the truck around. You got to really be aware of it. So there's been quite a few crashes that way tonight.
That transition off the racetrack is just brutal. Like I say, you go from like 25 degrees of banking to 10, and when you hit those two zones there, it just wants to throw the cars sideways.
I saw some smoke off the right front of Andrew Schulte as he hit pit road. Hopefully, like I said, the police doesn't get him, but we'll find out.
Oh man, I seen the 23 truck too. William Weaver, he was going into pit lane. It had a similar incident to JJ and just hit that inside wall and took out the truck.
I know we were questioning Mike's strategy earlier, but he's back in 6th place now, and he can go all the way.
Yeah, but how much time did he lose? You know, so Andrew's going to come out, and how much time is he going to be behind Andrew? Does he have enough time to make it back? It's going to be the question.
Exactly. It should be interesting to see where Andrew. Here's if we can get a camera on Andrew Schulte and Jeff Mark. They come up together. Nice job keeping the draft together. They're going to tighten up here to do the best they can. And let's see, Corey Blevins, that lead pack behind him, coming at full speed.
Yeah, it looks like the pack's about 2.5 seconds back, and they're coming hard.
Yeah, so Erder is going to be in this lead pack, so by the time they catch these two. So, yeah, congrats to Mike Erder. I guess that was good heads up.
Yeah, they're going to overhaul him here in about half a second.
And with 10 laps to go, I mean, he's got a lot of time. 3-mile track, 10 laps, well, 9 laps now. Still plenty of time to make something work.
Here go to the outside. Corey Blevins to the outside of Andrew Schulte. 57 Jeff Gilmore goes with him. Jack Watts with him. Looks like, is that Vernon?
Yeah, it's Vernon Margheim. I believe he's a couple laps down.
We got Mike Erder to the outside, make it 3 wide. The aggressiveness is picking up here. 10 to go.
Yeah, and I think they want to shuffle Vernon out because Vernon's not on the lead lap. Like, we're not working with you right now.
Exactly. He's putting up a fight there.
Greg Willen's going to take up the challenge with Vernon, though, and try to push Vernon up. Sometimes that's a smart move when you got other guys that aren't willing to work with you. Just grab one of the lappers and make it work.
I see on the outside here, Jeffrey Mark and Andrew Schulte, like I said, they've been working together pretty much all race. I suspect that's going to continue all the way to the end here. They're going to put up quite a battle here, and they're not going to give up any spot if they can help it.
So I'm looking back here at Kent Conley. Conley is still at this lead group too. He's in the 9th position. So we got a 9-car battle up here. These are our leaders with Kent Conley picking up the rear here, doing a great job tonight.
Yeah, fantastic. See that Alabama truck. Looking truck there.
Oh, we almost had an incident there. Jeff Mark almost got hit by the 57 truck. I believe that is Jeff Gilmore.
Jeff Gilmore, yeah.
And that's what we were talking about earlier. If you don't hit that corner entry going into the corners, and I believe that's exactly what happened to Jeff Gilmore. He didn't time it right, and he caught a little bit of that apron, and he moved up, and basically just got into the door of Jeffrey Merck.
Yeah, what I find, you almost have to guess when you're that close on the car or the truck in front of you. You almost have to guess where the corner entry is, because if you wait until you see that truck in front of you turn, it's almost too late to make that entry, and you're already 2 feet off the bottom lane into that second lane. So
yeah, now that outside lane is really pushed out. Top 4 cars were able to move ahead of that lower.
Here go up front with Greg Wellen looking on the outside. Doesn't have much help. See if Erda can close that gap and form that outside lane with James Hearn in that 3rd spot on the outside as well. Like I said, Jeff Merck and Andrew Schulte, they're going to be, I guarantee they're going to be tucked together the entire race here. It's going to be hard to split them up, and they're going to be tough to beat. But here comes Greg Wellen on the back on the outside.
And I agree with you, Scott. Those 2 guys are going to be tough to beat. However, I think there's something to be said for that outside lane. I really like that outside lane. It's just, can these guys be patient and work together is going to be the question.
Yeah, they just need to tighten it up just a little bit more.
They are making
which it looks like they've got it now.
We see Greg Wellen just now take the lead with, looks like James Hearn.
Yeah, what I see is a lot of 2-truck teams, it seems like, right? Like Greg Wellen and Mike Erder seem to be working really well together. We got Mark and Schulte working really well together. They seem to be like fighting, when the 2 of them clear that, they jump to the inside. We don't see any 3-car. I think maybe if Ken here can jump on the back of Jack Watts and James Hearns, 3 trucks. I wonder if they can then we lose Jack Watts on the inside. But if we can keep 3 trucks together, I think 3 would have a better shot than 2 if we can find 3 guys that could work together. But I haven't seen it quite yet.
Merck is looking outside.
Yeah, we got 5 to go.
So Mark was looking outside Mark was looking outside because Andrew got shuffled to the outside, so he's going to pick him up. Hearns comes here to give him a shot in the back. There we see Corey jump to the inside of Mark, or the outside of Mark rather, on the outside lane, because he knows that lane's going to the front. We'll see if Mark pushes them or decides to take it 3 wide.
Yeah, Mark's going to push right now. I don't think he wants to be the leader at the moment. I think the leader is kind of a sitting duck on this track.
5 to go.
Yeah, we're watching that outside lane redevelop here. James Hearn leading that outside pack. Oh no, I'm sorry. I got data in my way. I'm having technical difficulties, obviously.
Corey Blevin leading that outside lane there with Jeffrey Mark. Ooh, Erder slides up a spot. Gets a little loose.
Oh,
James Hearns goes, and we're wrecking.
Looked like everybody came out of it all right. It's like Merck got the worst of it. I don't think it was damage, but it slid him back.
Yeah, James Hearn.
Oh no, we got a caution.
A couple 360s there, and I don't think he hit anything.
I don't think it was any of these guys that brought the caution out.
He's actually stuck on the apron at the moment. So that transition between the apron and the track is really steep, and he got the truck stuck. He's got it free now.
Let me look back through the pack here, see what we can find.
Wow. If we get a chance, Kim, we should go to Ken Conley's cockpit view when you queue up that incident. Maybe if we got a chance, maybe we can talk to Ken, see how he's doing later on in the caution.
Kent had a good shot of the incident, you're telling me?
Yes, very, very good shot.
Okay, give me a second.
We'll see if we can bring Ken up after the pit stops here. See if there's any takers for pit stops here first.
Yep.
What do you think, Scott? You think we'll have anybody take tires or fuel? Well, probably not fuel, but at least maybe tires.
I don't think so. I don't think you can give up that track position at this point. With 4 to go in regulation, I think we're going to be looking at probably a green-white checker. I think we have 1 green-white checker for the race, and I don't think you can give up that track position up front right now.
Yeah, that's probably a good plan. There's going to be some guys, though, that in the back, they're probably going to want tires anyway, just to give it a shot.
All right, guys, I got it up. Let's get a look at it here.
So we got actually some of our leaders are coming.
Wow, that might be a fuel issue. Were they? No, they didn't pit. They pitted around 45 or so, right? They waited later to get fuel, so
yeah,
they should have been able to make it to the end. So that's surprising, unless they had some damage. I know Mark had a little damage. You know what that was? I bet I think Merck is coming in to get the fast repair, and I think Andrew is coming in to help him so he can push him back to the front and be with him on the restart. That's my
Get
thought.
one more look at it again.
What are you seeing on your end, Kim?
I'm not sure. From Kent's, let me run it up again, but from looking out at the cockpit of Kent's, all you'd see is the 78 go around, but it's almost like he went around by itself. Let me get another look.
And now it looks like a self-spin. Hey, let's bring Kent up to the booth and talk to him.
All right, I'll go and grab him. Here we go.
User was moved to your channel.
Hey, Kent.
Hey, brother.
Hey, you're up here with Scott and Kim in the broadcast booth. Scott wants to ask you some questions about what you're seeing on the track tonight.
Hey, Ken, did you bring a second pair of pants there after that wreck? What'd you see out of your view there?
Well, I'm getting older, so I always come in with my Depends on, so I was
Always
pretty
prepared.
good.
Always prepared. I like
I
it.
saw saw a little scuffling going up there. Not sure if it was internet or just racing, but yeah, I kind of got a little bit lucky. But hey, better be lucky than good.
That's it, brother. What I like about what we've been seeing from your truck all night long is we've been talking about how your patience and just being solid in that top 10, keeping that distance from the trucks in front of you. Have you been seeing a lot of aggression there, and are you just kind of waiting for the big one to happen and kind of take advantage? But if that were the case, look at now you're in P4 with the green-white checker. I think you're my pick to win tonight. What do you think?
Well, I'm thinking I like your philosophy and your prognostications.
Oh yeah.
I've just been kind of chilling. I always do, and I expected a lot tougher time tonight, but it's really been a very good race.
It has been a lot of patience out there. We've seen some excellent racing, a lot of give and take, but I think the aggressiveness is going to pick up here with the green-white checker. We'll pull you back down to the team, and look forward to hopefully talking to you in the end here.
All right, thank you, fellas.
Thanks,
for
Ken.
pulling me up here.
User was moved out of your channel.
All right, we're back. So, yeah, this is it, Scott. It is pay window time.
Lights are out on the pace car, too. We're doubling up, moving to the outside.
So, yeah, this is going to be a no holds bar, 2 laps. They're probably barely going to make it up to full speed by the time they take checkered flag. So we're going to see a lot of dicing, and slicing and dicing is going to be the name of the game.
I believe they got 2 green-white checkers, though, on this series.
Let me check.
I think Ken said 1. He said over the radio, and I think it said
1.
Okay. Race. I believe it's 1 at least tonight.
Yeah, when you guys were talking to Kent there, we're going back through that replay, and that's exactly what happened. The 78, he just went around all by himself and miraculously didn't hit anybody.
So I was looking at that real quick. I almost want to believe that was a netcode incident. I don't believe he got loose. I think one of the cars behind him or something just had one of those weird netcode bumps and caused that spin. Because all of a sudden he was going fine and it just cranked around.
Something else to consider here as we hit as the lights are out, we hit turn 3 and 4 coming to the restart here. If I were in the truck, I'm thinking it's only 1 green-white checkered finish, so I got to be super aggressive and try to get the lead sooner than later, because if that yellow flag comes out, let's say if we pile them up in turn 1, that yellow flag comes out, the race is done. So next flag ends the race. So a little more aggressive, trying to get the lead as soon as I can here on the restart.
Yeah, maybe at the conclusion of the race we can get one of the pit reporters to grab the 78 and ask him what happened there.
All right, pace car dives into pit lane. Greg Welland leads him to the green flag. We're about to go green. And we're holding. Okay, the green flag is out. We're underway. That 99 truck on the outside is holding strong with the 088 of Kent Conley, who we just spoke to. He's got the fishing lure behind him. Trying to make that outside lane work. I expect these guys to be 3-4 wide before a lap.
Yep, they usually wait for it to come up to full speed here. You around the backstretch, see the aggressiveness pick up with Kent Conley. We haven't seen him on somebody's bumper that close all night. See him already picking up. He's got a sniff of that lead.
Yeah, I'm watching some three wide action right now with the 57 of Jeff Gilmore. He took it 3 wide, kind of forced his way in there. I watched him wiggle, but now he's behind Sean Turner. Just bumped him hard. Oh, we got
Corey.
an accident. Big wreck.
There's the big one, guys. There's the big one. I'm not even going to throw up the thing. We're just going to go ahead and back this up right from where it is and get a look at it.
So we didn't make it to the white flag, so we're going to get another attempt at this, I believe. Right, Scott?
I don't think so. I think this is the end of the race.
If that's true, it looks like Greg Welland might be our winner here. Let me look.
All right, guys, I got it. Let's get a look at it again.
Yeah, I believe you're right, Scott. I believe this is the end of the race.
Yeah, we got her in slow motion here. Maybe we can see what happened.
Just wait for these guys to cross the finish line here.
Look at good old Mike Gerder. We thought Mike Gerder was out of it with that pit stop off sequence, and nice podium finish from Mike on behalf of Team Krankenstein.
I couldn't see if somebody got in, but the 99 did get loose. And when he did, he got into the 8. Lance Armentrout back up the track, got the 57 and the 60. That collected the 78. Then the 8 came back up and got the 088 of Kent Connolly. Then Sean Turner got into the 088. Everybody looks more like bumper cars out there than anything.
Yeah, no, that was a crazy wreck.
077 Jack Watts is up in the wall. Vern Margheim's now in the wall with the 04 Doug Sigmund.
So these guys are coming up to the start-finish line. Kim, let's move back to the leader here. Let's go over our results here.
You know what I find interesting is my results are showing Charlie Whitner in third. I don't know if you see that, but Kent Conley is third on the track, and it's not pulling Charlie in front of him. I think Kent finished
Because of the yellow.
Because of the yellow.
So here we go as they cross the start-finish line. Greg Wellen wins this thing. Congratulations, Greg Wellen. Mike Erder in second, and Kent Conley in third. Lance Armentrout in fourth, and Charles Widener in fifth. Great job to our top 5. Sean Turner with the fishing lure manages to pull off 6. He had a good night. Bill Paradise in 7th. John Henderson in 8th. Doug Sigmund in 9th. And Andrew Schulte in 10th.
Yeah, Andrew, I think, made the best he could with that pit stop he made with Mark. Mark ended up finishing P13. I think it was just a little... I don't know if I would have pitted there, and I think it's just too few laps to try to make up those spots with the aggressiveness that we knew was going to be up front. But
Yep, that's this track is a tough one, man, especially when you get down to the end. Anyway, good job to Greg Wellen. It looks like again we're having some radio communication problems. We're unable to talk to our winner tonight, so it looks like we can reach Kent Conley, who we talked to earlier, and see how he did on that third place.
User was moved to your channel.
Hey Kent, back here with Scott, Kim, and myself. Congrats on that third place finish.
Thank you very much. They don't come very often. When they do, I cherish them.
Yeah, so what did that look like from your angle there on the last couple of laps? What were you thinking?
Well, I was going to try to push the high side car up, get up him in the first so it could give me a chance up there, and then I don't know really what happened. I know I was missing stuff, and I think I got into Lance. I got into Lance a little bit, but I didn't really know he was down there. I was just trying to hold my line, whether I did or whether I didn't. I was covering my
Go back
bases
and watch our shit.
by saying,
Fun or look like you turned in another huge.
just trying to hold my line.
Yeah, no, that was an awesome run by you. Scott had mentioned that Charles Widner was actually in third, right around when that caution came out. So wasn't sure if you seen what happened there.
I don't think it was quite to the line. I think that he was saying that he didn't quite get me at the line or something like that. I'm not really sure either. I thought he was ahead of me too.
Well, hey, buddy, it's great having you up in the booth tonight. So congrats on that podium finish tonight. You have anybody you want to thank?
Always thanking my friends and family, friends of Multi-League. Appreciate what y'all do. Appreciate what y'all do when I'm not here. Appreciate everybody, all my friends and family.
Yeah, I just want to say,
appreciate y'all up in the booth. Y'all do a great job.
Yeah, we did.
I just want to say I appreciate you, Kent. I know you've put on this series for years, years and years. You've had this truck series. I don't know. You're in like the 32nd season, and probably longer than that.
Probably about 6 to 8 years, I think.
Yeah, you've been doing this a while, and I want to thank you for carrying this out and making this league what it is too.
Thank y'all. Appreciate
me too,
y'all
Kent,
make y'all make it what it is.
Me personally, I want to give you a personal thanks, Kent, for running this league. This was the first league. You were the first one to invite me into league racing when I had no idea what it was all about. So thanks for showing me the ways, and look forward to racing out there with you in the future.
I was always wondering who I had to blame for that. I hate to look in the mirror, but oh well, I'll have to look in the mirror. Hey, thank y'all.
All right, awesome run, Kent. Congratulations, man.
All right, awesome.
Okay.
User was moved out of your channel.
Hey, well, I guess this is going to close it out for us tonight. There was some good racing tonight. Only, I believe, 2 or 3 caution flags.
Yeah, that was not what I would have bet on, certainly at the beginning of the race if I had to place a bet. So awesome job by all these drivers. Green flag pit stops. We saw 3 wide, 4 wide racing, limited incidents, some awesome give and take out there, an awesome green-white checkered finish, and our brother Kent Conley with a good, solid podium finish. Congrats to Greg Wellen as well for the win.
Hey, Scott, next week, or not next week, this Thursday, we're doing another televised event. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. We're taking the MROC series. We're doing a series of 2 practice races while the NASCAR season takes their Olympic break here. So this Thursday is going to be the second practice MROC series. That's the Multi-League Race of Champions. We're trying to get some details finalized with the format and the racing and these new cars. It's in the next-gen Cup cars. So everybody that's part of Multi-League can come out. Everybody's welcome to race. Should be a good time. We're going to Richmond for 90 laps this Thursday. And that's all in preparation for a series that we're putting on at the end of the Cup Series in November when the series finishes with the championship. We're going to put on a little 5-week sprint to the finish championship in the MROC Series. That should be a blast. No tires, no pit stops, 1 fuel run. Everybody has the same car. And our goal is to paint the cars just like the old 90s and early 2000s MROC cars with the driver names on the doors. Should be really exciting to see a whole field of 16 cars. So qualify top 16 in points. Plus we may take a fan vote, or we haven't decided on a couple of final ones, but should be an awesome series to run.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that end of season series, and I'm also really looking forward to Thursday with this race being at Richmond. This ought to be a really great race to watch.
Yeah, my goal was to test 2 different tracks, right? Last week we went Super Speedway racing at Talladega to see how that next-gen car does there. We got some tips and we got some knowledge as to how the draft package works with that car, and now we're going short track racing at Richmond. So it should be interesting to see how the 2 opposite tracks behave and see how the racing is this Thursday.
Yeah, awesome. All right, guys. Well, thank you, Kim. Thank you, Scott. I guess we'll call it a night. See what happens. We got a race tomorrow night on the road with the road cars, and then Thursday night we'll be back here live on YouTube, televising that race.